Hi, hi everyone. It is me, Sailor Venus, Sailor Hellworld, Mina here. And today I'm going to talk about, Flight 2 if, Renaissance Atlantic Sailor Moon would have gotten hate from the Sailor Moon followership. Now you need to be ask yourself, why would I make a Flight 2 film? Oh, fuck, get the shirt. Why would I make a Flight 2 film? Because there were some things that I left out when we first made the film yesterday. Now, I did mention a lot of things. I think that the Sailor Moon followership would be irked or angered over, or hate or not like about Renaissance Atlantic or New Birth Great Seas Sailor Moon. Well, the sky ships or the starships. Now, since they're sailor fighters, they fly on the sky flyers, which are these small ships which look like someone's surfing board or whatever the English word is for that. If surf's the English word or not, I don't know. No, it's a Latinist, French's borrowed word, so who knows? But it looks like one of those boards, and it's got a sail on it. And then there's a steering wheel or a driving wheel. Yeah, a driving wheel. Because steering's another Latinist, French's borrowed word again. And I think that they would have gotten irked over those and say, oh, but they didn't fly those things in Sailor Moon. They didn't fly those things in the funny books. They didn't fly those things in the film games. They would have bitched and ranted and scaved, I knew they bloody would do it. Yeah. Because as soon as they, looked up Sailor Moon on the interweb, they would have learned that, there is no sailing ships. And so they would have been they would have been angry that the inner sailor fighters, and Queen Beryl would have not had starships, so they would have been irked over that. Another thing I think they would have been pissed off about, if that would have been my guess, is that they are now called they're called the Elderling Fighters, not the Sailor Fighters as they would be called, or Sailor Keepers as they would be called in every other take of Sailor Moon. Well, indeed, they call them the Sailor Keep, whatever. They would have bitched about the name, It would have been pissed off to learn, too, that they weren't newly born from their past lives, that what you were watching was not their past life, but was their now life, and that they lived on Earth, and then when they were needed, they would come to sail. They become the Elderling Keepers, and then they would go to other flights of the Milky Way Starway, and maybe even beyond that, to fight Queen Beryl in the Dark Kingdom, or whatever the Dark Kingdom's name was in that world. So I think they would have been pissed off about that too. They would have nitpicked over a lot of things, like names. Like they would have been irked or angered that it was Victoria, that it was Amy, that it was Dana, that it was Sarah, and that it was Carrie. They would have been pissed off that my name was Carrie in that world. Well, that is my middle name, believe it or not. It's Mina Carrie Sakine. It's Mina Carrie Ino. So yeah, there you go. They would have been pissed off about that. And we already talked about that the first time we talked about this film, and I know that would have pissed them off. And I also know what else they would have been bloody pissed off about, or made a bloody big deal about. That would have been, Luna being a white cat instead of a black cat. Even though Toei, when they do their drawing work, it makes Luna look like a blue cat, but really she's a dark cat. But whatever. They would have been pissed off about that, irked and angered. Oh, then another thing they would have bitched about was, that that the borrowing and fostering of things, half live work and half live drawing. So that would have been something they would have been pissed off about, because they're like, oh, Sailor Moon's show, it's all live drawing. Yeah, unless you get PGSM, and that's the only true live take you have besides the song shows or the song plays out there. Or the plays out there. So at the end of the day, I think there would have been a lot of things they would have been pissed off, angered, irked, wretched about. So it isn't like I would be, making this up, because I most likely know there would have been some slight of the Sailor Moon followership out there that was irked and angered over it. Then, just only to end this film here, they would be like also irked of all the freedoms that Renaissance Atlantic Entertainment or New Birth Great Sea Glee tune makers in business or drawing show makers in business were taking. They're like, that's not what Toei want. That's not what the Toei business wanted, they would have said. That's not what Aldeling Nayo that's not what Nako Takaguchi wanted. Well, this Sailor Moon was fully owned by Frank Wand, not owned by the Toei business or Aldeling Nayo business or whatever. So yeah, but I think they would have been irked, angered, wretched over any shift that happened. And they would have wished that they would have gotten that Deke or Pioneer or Pathseeker or Cloverway or Hanna-Barbera or 4Kids, or they would have wished that someone would have gotten the rights to do the drawing work, the drawing show work, because they didn't like the half live show, half live drawing show that we got. And that's if it ever, and that is my belief, if Sailor Moon or Renaissance Atlantic or New Birth Great Sea Sailor Moon would have gotten hated by the Sailor Moon followership. And my answer is yes, there would have been a slight of it that would have hated it. So, give me your thoughts. Do you think the Sailor Moon followership out there would have hated the Renaissance Atlantic, New Birth, Great Sea Sailor Moon the same way that they hate the Deep Glee Sailor Moon, or the Pioneer Pathseeker Glee Sailor Moon, or the Cloverway and Business Sailor Moon? Let me know. And I'll see you later.